All right, let's go. Day number 9. Actually, let me show you here because you can actually see the date. Let's see if it focuses. It should focus. So it's 9th of January, and it should be, let's see. All right, it doesn't actually focus, so whatever, it happens. But let's come back to our main subject, which is paid ads targeting Shopify business owners or Shopify wannabe business owners, because you've seen probably in the past few episodes that there are a lot of people who are just starting out, and most of the leads that I'm getting are actually from people who are just trying to figure it out, right? Which is not necessarily ideal for me because I don't have a low ticket offer. So I do work with established ecom brands. But at the same time, this is how you see that there's a gap in the market. And when you see that there's a gap in the market, you can actually ask yourself, can you also fill this gap? Because if you look at what's happening in terms of the shift in the online world, there's a lot of moving around from offering a done for you service. So instead of doing Facebook ads, Google ads, or email marketing for someone, you are actually trying to consult or mentor a lot more people, right? Because this is definitely more scalable. If you have a personal brand, you eventually can do the same thing as, let's say, Iman Gadzhi, Alex Hormozy, all of the guys that have enough attention that they can sell something that's maybe in the $100 a month, let's say, to maybe $1,000 per course or around that range, right? But if you are, let's say, starting out, ideally you do charge higher ticket because it just makes your life easier. It's easier to have one client, one person that you're fully dedicated to, and that you can charge maybe 3K a month, rather than having 30 people who you are charging $100 a month, because then it's so much more that you have to take into account, right? You have to remember that someone is doing ecom, someone is maybe doing drop shipping, someone is doing branded drop shipping, and so on, right? So too many variables. Whenever you can, ideally you keep it simple. But as you might know from yesterday's video, I did have a first discovery call. It was with someone who was trying TikTok organic in order to get sales to their Shopify store. And I haven't checked their TikTok organic, but it was clear that the website needed some improvements. And I'm saying that knowing very well that even these videos can always be improved. The ads that you'll be seeing in a second here can always be improved. So it's always about improving, because that's why there's innovation in this world. You're always trying to be better than you were yesterday, or let's say even better than your competitors. But another thing that I need to mention is that I had my first DM conversation on Instagram with someone that was already making some money with eCom. And I guess I can tell you a little bit of that, about that brand and about that person, although I didn't dig that deep yet. So what I know is that it's a giveaway, and I guess this is a tip for anyone who might want to start in the US to have like a boost in sales from the get-go. If you offer, let's say, a truck, you actually have more chances to sell almost anything. So if you're trying to sell shirts, right? Like, this is a commodity. It's not that hard to buy a shirt, to manufacture one, right? So you also need to think of what makes you unique. But if you buy a shirt and you get entered into a sweepstake, into a giveaway, and have the opportunity to win a 20K truck, right? Then that is more appealing, especially if you have, let's say, a multiplier bonus. You have the urgency. So you have multiple marketing things that just make your brain go, all right, I need to buy this right now. Because let's be honest, $50 in the US, it's not really that much. 60, 70, I mean, that's the usual AOV. But not to get too much into ecom right now, right? Because right now what we're doing is actually looking at how to acquire leads or how to start conversations, right? Because like I said, I might find a few people who have already established brands, but most 90% plus probably won't have a brand. So what I'm planning is actually to just plant seeds, let's say, right? Because just like in school, let's say, you are making different connections, right? And you will stay with that group of people for probably 4 to 8 years, right? So if you think long term, if you can expand your horizon, then you won't really think that each call is a waste of time if you can't do business with someone right now, right? And that's why you can actually think that each and every call has the impact, has a much higher impact, let's say, because who knows who will have the next 1 million, 10 million, $100 million brand, right? And it's actually also on you to motivate those people around you. So without further ado, like I said, I did start a conversation with someone who is spending on ads, and actually I do have to follow up. So let's keep this video short because I do need to follow up on Instagram to get access to the Facebook Ads Manager, I would say, because I'm pretty sure that there are some improvements that can be done there. But first, let's look at our ads, if it's attracting the right type of people, or yeah, I can actually tell you what type of people because I do check the leads after they fill in the form. So let's switch to Facebook Ads Manager and let's see what's happening. All right, so we're in Facebook Ads Manager right now. As you can see, I've selected today. Let's look at yesterday first. So free leads, $14 a lead. This is a very good cost, but the thing is that, as I mentioned earlier, it's not really qualified leads, right? So it's people that I will connect with, but I won't be doing business right now just because I don't have a low ticket offer. And basically it's not a priority. But like I said, I think it's very important to still make as many connections as possible because it's not like too many people in this world are going to do business and also have success, right? So if you can connect just with a few, then I would say it's a big win and your network is your net worth. So let's look at today, right? Let's look at what's happening. And I think for the first time, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, we have a lead that's in this age group, so 25-55, because typically, if you look here at view charts, you will see that the results are coming from the 18 to 24 age group, right? And although I do enjoy working with young, ambitious people, the fact is that they are still trying to figure it out, just like I was at this age. So that's why I actually prefer, and let me actually get the camera down here because you don't see. All right, you are seeing now. So 18 to 24, mainly men, because I am targeting men, although I should probably expand. And you can see that it's also 25-44, right? Which is missing here. I mean, it's spending. We can see here that it's spending, but not as much, right? So the ads are attracting people, I guess, who probably are watching Imangazi and so on, but I would rather prefer the ones that are watching, let's say, Alex or Mozi, right? And this one, which is spending only around $10 because I'm still testing it, you can see that it had a lead today and it seems like it's the same green ad. I'm not sure why this one is always cooking, working, but it does seem to work. And as you can see, if we look at view charts, it got us someone in the 25 to 44 age group, which honestly is ideal. And actually, if you see here, it does seem like I didn't even put let's say any kind of limit on the gender. So I didn't just select men, I also selected women, and it actually spent more on women, interestingly enough. But as you can see, the results are coming from men. So this is also something to take into consideration. You need to use logic and think who is your ideal target customer. And if you look at platforms, Instagram by far. So I'm not surprised. And yeah, it's spending significantly more on Instagram. I believe it's because this is mostly a longer type of ad, as you can see. So it can feel more of the actual like real estate on the feed or even in the stories. But I do have to follow up with, I guess, this lead. And actually, I did get on Calendly, which I have right here on my second monitor. I did get a call booked for tomorrow. So we'll see about that. But let's switch the camera back. All right, so we're back. And as you can see, the ads are getting us leads. The quality of the leads, that's questionable, right? And as I said, that's why I actually want to test this, because there are some leads that will be relevant that can afford to pay a higher ticket. And there are some that aren't able, or maybe I just don't have the right offer, right? So this is where you can actually see that first you need to see what's in the market, and then if you want, you can create different offers, right? Because I could create some kind of coaching offer or mentorship, group calls. I'm sure I could create that, because at this point I do have years of experience, and there are also, let's say, a bunch of ad accounts that I've seen, right? So it's very easy to look at a website, an ad account, and understand fairly quick if it's working or not, or look at the gaps, right? Because just yesterday I had some sales training. I also had a discovery call. So things are always moving. And just like playing a video game, I would say business is just the same. If you enjoy it, then it can actually be not as stressful, because let's be honest, many people in this world work on something that they don't like. So it's always ideal to work on something that you do like. And I do have to mention here in the end that I did receive one comment on LinkedIn, which I think I have behind me here. A comment from someone who watched the video from yesterday, and he told me he resonated with something that I said. I can't remember exactly what, but it was definitely not about Facebook ads or leads, but it was more so about the mindset and actually having patience. Because as you can see, I'm daily spending on ads here, and it's not like I got any deal, but it's basically the first 9 days. I mean, think of the next 365. What happens if you spend on ads for 365 days? How many, let's say, clients do you actually need? For me, if I can retain just one client, so if I get just one client and retain them for 1 year, it pays for the full 365 days of ads. And the benefit is that you don't just get a client, right? Because the ROAS might be a 1. If you spend 36K in a year on ads and the client pays you 36K, you're break even and you actually lost your time, right? But don't forget about all the other leads. Don't forget about all the other calls, connections that you made. And that's how you actually grow over time, because you just make more connections. And if you care, if you remain in the game, then you'll just continue to grow. It's the effect of compounding. And just like I think Warren Buffett said, the compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. So let's get back to uploading this video to the computer, editing it real quick, putting it on YouTube, and continuing with the daily series. So that's it for today, and basically see you tomorrow.